The easy bit is when everything's going well. The tough bit and when you really see people's character, and I guess you find out what your teammates are about. You got to understand the turbulence that you go through and the graph of success. It's always up, down. The tide will turn as long as you've got resilience. You're never going to get where you want to go if you just sit there and feel sorry for yourself. So you need someone to sort of, I guess, take the brunt of it, front it, and create a movement. Ellis Genge, Lucid Prop and Bristol Bears. Believe it or not, I'm quite easy to talk to. People think it's quite the opposite. Your currency in terms of speaking to people, you've only got so much of it you can spend. There's only so many times you can shout and bawl and be that character before people think, like, I'm not listening to this bloke anymore. So having kids helped me a lot because you stop shouting at everyone all the time. So I guess it's quite refreshing to be in a leadership role where you've got people coming to you seeking advice, obviously being that shoulder to lean on if anyone needs it. First one, hard work. I think everyone respects you a bit more if you're going above and beyond. Secondly, selflessness, so putting the team before yourself. And thirdly, being able to adapt to the environment, the team, the demands of everything going on around you. People watching rugby have a certain perception of me, and I've lost count of times people have probably thought I was something I shouldn't say on camera. They fail to remember sometimes you're actually human and you've got stuff going on outside of rugby and a family, and people are entitled to opinions. Obviously fans can criticise. I don't think people ever actually necessarily get upset that a fan's giving you criticism. I think it's the fact that they don't ever think before they speak. When it's mindless and people are just trying to have a pop at you to make themselves feel better, I think that's where you got to draw the line. It does become repetitive and a bit samey, especially if you're in a dark place and you're not winning games. It can become tough, and that's when the pressure and the walls start closing in on a team, and you find out who's really got a backbone, who's really got a spine, and who comes out on the other side. You got to separate the human side of yourself and the sporting side of yourself. We're in the entertainment industry at the end of the day. It's all a bit of a front sometimes. But in a rugby environment, hard work is your currency, and when it's time, bring your chips to the table and we'll talk business. If someone isn't actually giving you anything back, then quite quickly in the rugby environment they get pushed out. So you don't really ever see that for too long, which is good, obviously. I just want everyone to be treated fairly. I felt I had a bit of a victim mentality growing up for whatever reason. Always thought the world was against me, so I guess whenever I feel people are being treated unfairly, I like to step in and put my head above the parapet and be that voice. The easy bit is when everything's going well, but the tough bit and when you really see people's character and find out what your teammates are about is when things are going wrong. And I was there with Leicester, I think it was 2018, we lost 11 games in a row or something crazy like that. And obviously fast forward 4 years, we won the Premiership. So the graph of success never just looks like that. It's always up, down, and you got to understand the turbulence that you go through. People fail to understand that sometimes, that the tide will turn as long as you've got resilience and you all come in and apply yourself every day. But obviously, having said that, the process of being able to apply yourself is difficult. That's what building relationships in environments and workplaces towards one goal, that's when they come up trumps. I think the skills that you sort of acquire along the way in rugby and the personalities you meet sort of prepares you for the business world. I enjoy building a brand, I enjoy being a part of something, and that's what we're trying to do with the gym in Leicester and hopefully soon down in Bristol. We don't just want a gym, we want a space where people who want to train at a high level performance come together in that sort of elite environment. Everything's there for you. We want hot desks, we want coffee shops, we want everything in one space, almost like a health club, so to speak, all sort of in that pyramid shape. Like you got your foundations at the bottom, and then right at the top is where you want to be in the gym. So you're there working to a high level every day, and everyone at part of our gym or our movement understands that, and that's what everyone wants to be a part of. The transition into internationals actually quite seamless because you've got however many people in that environment who are at the top of their game and all want to be the best player they could possibly be. All the staff there are literally solely there for a campaign, like a short period, condensed period of time, where everything is about making you the best player you can be and achieving something in a short space of time. So everything is sort of geared towards that end goal of we want to win a tournament, Six Nations, Ultimate Nationals, whatever it may be. Whereas when you're at the club game, it's more you're going home to your family every single day. You're not in camp all the time, so you've got a lot more human side of the environment as well. Whereas of course you want to win trophies at a club, but you've got to remember that you're in this environment. This is essentially your job. Nothing made me decide I want to be in the front row. It was something you stayed away from, to be honest. I started off playing number 8, played a bit of centre and wing. I was very, very lean and small when I was younger, so a few coaches sort of seen the natural aggression and willingness to be involved in confrontation and thought it'd be a good fit for me. And yeah, obviously it's worked out quite well. Before you go out in the change room, when you're all around the huddle, looking each other in the eyes, knowing that you ain't going to come out unscathed. It's going to work. It's going to be tough, but you're all willing to muck in for however long and do whatever it takes to come out on top. So I think that's what I really enjoy being a part of. I'd say obviously the position I play is reasonably unique. I play prop, so we're right at the front of the scrums, quite combative, don't really see many other sports. Usually, I guess the camaraderie that you build in rugby is very unique. Those personalities to stand up, be accounted for and drag people through. You're never going to get where you want to go if you just sit there and feel sorry for yourself. So you need someone to sort of, I guess, take the brunt of it, front it. Come on mate, do it for me. Don't worry about what's going on outside of it, do it for me. Create a movement and take people through with you. That's why away from the pitch it's so important to spend time with each other in a good manner to build those friendships. I know this sounds so cliche, but the reason you hear it so much is probably because it's everyone's number one goal, is to every time you come into the building, leave better. And for me, that's just about consistency. When I hang the boots up, I'll probably look back and be like, wow, I actually had a good crack at it. So obviously it was lovely for me to bow out on a premiership title, and obviously captaining the team as well was the icing on the cake. And I'll never forget the memories. I made some lifelong friends from that club, and it essentially put me where I am today in terms of rugby, with the rich history of the ABC club and stuff like that. But for me, and I'll be honest here, I probably haven't said this too much, but winning a trophy for Leicester Tigers, I'm very aware that I'm from Bristol, and I'd love to bring a trophy back to Bristol as a Bristolian. Prevention's better than cure. When I speak to some of these young players, it's nice for me to be able to sort of add that string on my bow of being able to relate to people. Bristol is a tight-knit community. It's got very strong community foundations. I'd rather stop people making the same mistakes that I did growing up than try and get them out of it when they've gone too far. I go to a lot of schools and do talks and visits for people from similar backgrounds to myself. And seeing them and obviously growing up as young males in those environments is easy for me to relate to because I've been in their shoes. And actually be a local boy who's come through that system, come out on the other side of it and sort of give these kids something to aspire to and know that it's not just the people who are from the upper echelons and the top private schools that are going to be able to crack it. You can be from Knoll and Hartcliffe and places like that and actually have an opportunity in this game as well. I get inspiration from kids in Bristol, my teammates, the way they operate, and obviously all striving towards one goal and seeing people sacrifice and go out of their way to do something that they wouldn't usually do, going above and beyond, as you said, out of the ordinary. That inspires me. So I like being a part of a motive, I guess. That's what drives me.